guys, I'm Jamie Rubio, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for June 19th, the Librarians, the next chapter in the Illustrious Livestream. I'm here with my co-host, Scarlet. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
So, everybody, welcome. Tonight, this is I think it's the 5th episode, and the Memory Crystal.
I couldn't remember it.
No, I had it written down, but I just couldn't remember the number. I believe it's 5.
But I can't remember. Who are you, Jamie?
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense for this one, doesn't it? If you're here, please make sure that you subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision if you haven't, and like the video, and make sure you check out all our other videos, our interviews, and everything on the video tab, and all our live streams on our live tab. We have stuff almost every day now at Sci-Fi Vision. Tomorrow at 11 Eastern is Revival that I do with Lori. And then soon on Sundays, we're going to have the Institute. We don't yet. That'll be soon. But right now on Sundays, also, we have Dead City at 11. And Mondays, we have Murderbot at midnight that I have with Scarlet. And Tuesdays is our weekly review show of just kind of a bunch of everything amalgam together. And yeah, so make sure you join us, and you can get the link or the schedule for everything on our Discord. We also have watch parties before we do these different specific shows to get you ready for the episodes. So if you haven't, please join us there as well. All right, well, and the memory crystal. So what did you think? I will ask you first.
I can't really remember this episode. I don't remember anything about it. What episode?
I'll let you.
Is it going to keep going? Yes, it's going to.
Okay.
I actually really like this episode. I watched it twice. It was pretty good. I don't know how much of the science is sciencing, but I know that Dr. John D was a real person.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I saw a link to that, and I meant to look it up, but I didn't. What did you find out anything about John D that you want to share?
Oh, I know stuff about John D already. Like being a little bit with my toe dipped in esoteria a little bit myself. You know, like the, John D and the Enochian and angel languages and all that.
Okay. But I'm guessing he did not have a memory crystal, unfortunately. Well,
probably
maybe
not. I'm assuming not.
Unfortunately. But that's interesting. I do like that they when they bring in real pieces like that and kind of mix the real with the fantasy.
Kind of more like a ceremonial magician. But
okay.
With that kind of angle.
I see. Well, this one, I was gonna say, yeah, this one has some science, not just. I guess they all have some science, but this one seems more sciencey compared to some of them that are a little more. I'd say a little more fantasy. I don't know how else to describe that, but I'd say it has a little bit more science, since it does have to do with memory and things like that. But yeah, I like this episode. So let me get my picture up and we'll get started. Let's see.
See, like in the beginning here, Galileo's, I have loved the stars too fondly to fear the night. Don't know if it's a real quote, but I know Galileo was a real person.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, Galileo was a real person. Yeah. Yeah, they mentioned they mentioned quite a few different real sciencey things.
I just got messed up with the Ghost Train episode because they made up a country and all that.
No, right. Well, this one
got kind of suspicious sometimes
of the real in it. Yeah. So I guess the idea with going here is Lysa likes this Rosalind Kirsch. I guess it's Kirsch. I'm saying Kirsch.
So are they trying to express some chemistry between these two with this whole beginning?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked their chemistry. I mean, I still don't know that I think they're going to end up in a relationship, but I could see that like they could potentially be heading that way, I guess. But I don't know. I know Justin seems to think that. I don't know if I'd go that far, but
he did have that name slip in this episode.
Yeah, he did call her Anya. Very true. But so she likes this professor. I guess she's used to be a professor, the scientist Rosalind Kirsch, and she's going to see her lecture. But the idea is that she's more bringing Vikram along, hoping that he can learn some of the science from the decades that he's missed. And at the beginning, he's a little insulted because he's like, I went to Oxford, I know these things. But yeah, he missed a lot. So she wants to introduce some of it to him. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I did like that they kind of had them hanging out together alone. And I think it worked really well.
I did like the phrase dimmer dammer.
Dimmer dam. Okay, that I missed, or at least I don't have written down. When was that?
Dimmer It was a word he used when he talked about science dimmer dammer, which I thought was cool. Okay. I wrote down a lot of words that he says because I like a lot of his phrases. I may adopt them in my own speak.
No, he has good phrases, but it was probably in a paragraph of a lot of other phrases that I missed out.
Probably.
But he's telling him about the tree. There's a tree out there that's the woman. She's an astrophysicist, obviously. That she,
I assume this is a fictionalized scientist.
Developed her hypothesis. Yeah, I was kind of curious about some of the stuff that they talked about, and I didn't delve into it, but I might later. I'd like to know that she talks about interstellar dust and galactic nuclei. And at any rate, Lysa thinks that it can be used to potentially predict what's going to happen, which we know from before the stuff that we've gotten from the other episode, that Lysa wants to be able to predict, when things are going to happen because of the fact that her parents died and, suddenly, and she's hoping to be able to change the way things are. But yeah, she came up with, I guess, this study, this hypothesis. It says, while watching oil droplets in her tea. I don't know. She was sitting under the tree there. But
I think that they were trying to equal it out with Newton's apple thing.
Maybe. Metaphor. That's a good point, yeah. Although that makes me think of Doctor Who and Mavity, but that's a whole nother thing. They since they messed around with things, I should say, gravity became Mavity, and it's kind of like this running joke in the show, but it's funny. I think it's funny.
See, I was gonna look up Murray and Dalton too, because he said they were amateur scientists, and I thought I didn't have enough time. But
yeah, I know. I feel like maybe if I wasn't doing 5 of these a week, I'd have time to look things up. Because I always say, I wish I'd looked this up. I wish I'd looked this up. Yeah, I do wish I'd looked this up.
Or if it wasn't a holiday today and I had time off work and I didn't get home till 10:30, I would have a little bit more of a grasp.
It does have a holiday. There's never enough hours in the day. I'm just glad I at least got pictures done and got to rewatch it again before we started. Because it had been a little bit since I seen it.
Because I couldn't remember it.
No, you're going to keep beating that horse, aren't you?
Yep. Because I won't remember when I flogged it to death.
So anyway, this woman was an inspiration to Lysa, and they do talk about how this hypothesis is used to predict events like black holes. And there is also, this is before they go in, there's also a painting of her on the wall.
It's like this furrowed brow.
Sorry, what?
His furrowed brow in that one picture. He's got like this very expressive brow.
What's going on? No, yeah. Some of them are really. I love when you get a weird candid shot. It's sometimes hard to. I try to get.
He's kind of doing it there too.
It kind of is, but I try to get ones where they're at least not like. But it doesn't. It's not always.
Or their eyes the eyes don't look like they're flickering to the back of the head.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I was thinking it's a painting. It's not a painting. It's a photograph. There's a photograph of that woman there on the wall, and I'm only bringing it up because obviously it comes up later on down in the episode. Hi, Kelly. Sorry, I didn't tell Kelly hi. Hi, Kelly. Well, she wrote in the chat. So yeah, they are going to go to the seminar here. Now, this woman, and I don't know if we get it. I don't think we get a name for her, but Vikram starts flirting with her. Yeah, and this is definitely where I wouldn't assume that he is into Lysa if he's standing there flirting with some woman, but he's like talking about the way she took up to their seats and stuff, and it's just a little much. And I like whenever Lysa sits down and she's like, he says something like, I think she fancies me, which this woman was like weirded out. And he's like, discovery in 150 years, creepy staring is not sexy. So there you go, guys. A tip for the day: creepy staring is not sexy. So yeah,
this whole room looked pretty foggy too. I was like, I don't know if it's just the sunlight coming through it, but it was really kind of foggy-ish.
Oh, in the room? It kind of is a
Yeah.
little bit. The color's a little. It might be the way the light is, though. Yeah,
Could be
I agree.
crystal fog. Fog in the crystal.
Oh. But yeah, they're going to enjoy. He takes his. I saw somebody mention something about that. Takes his walking stick everywhere, and I've seen something like, does he have something in it? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
there's a sword in there.
Yeah, that's what I thought there might be. I
He
couldn't
took it
remember
out
for
and put it
sure.
back in. I mean, not all the way. He took it out partly and then almost cut
Right.
himself on it in his way.
Oh, that's
Comic
right.
way.
But I guess that's his reasoning for carrying it everywhere. He has a weapon. But yeah,
Plus, he's an
it's like
elegant dandy. Of course, you have a
it
cane.
is, and I was gonna say it's like a Lucius Malfoy thing, so I won't complain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all good. But so before they get to hear her speak, this is Dr. Stenaris, who of course is. I had his. I hate when I'm taking notes and I like rearrange the notes and then like I miss the part that I needed because I rearranged it and put it somewhere else.
Oh,
Paul Leonard Murray, there it is, who is of course from the Ark, and
you said there was
also
going to be an art crossover.
yeah, that's one of the. I don't know if you'd call that an Easter egg or not, but I know he was either is or was going to be. I'm not sure if he was already or he was going to be, but on NDB Media's other show, they were having him on. We got to. I got to start contacting people here. We got to try to get some librarians people on. People can watch that interview, which would be fun. But yeah, he's from the Ark. He has a pretty big role on the Ark, which made me right away think he was probably the villain in this because he's definitely. I mean, he's like not an evil all the time villain on that show. He's like more the guy who's like the ass you want to yell at, but yeah. So, but he's introducing her on stage, and this is whenever she's starting to talk about her topic. Wait, I gotta move my the little scroll bar over there I lost. But he introduces her on. She comes out and she starts talking about the discovery and how she made it and about finding it under the tree and everything. And then suddenly she stops talking. Whoops, what did I click? There's Lisa's recording it on her cell phone, but she stops talking all of a sudden for no reason. Whenever she gets this light, she first sees this light, you kind of see like in her eyes there. But we know later we see a little bit more of what happens, but they're trying to figure out. She acts very confused and he helps her off the stage. It seems like maybe it's some kind of, when they talk about it later, they talk about like maybe she has dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. And that it's not, Lisa believes it could not be magic. We don't know. Hi, Bill. Thanks
Why
for
is she
coming.
so anti-magic?
Yeah, Lisa is always anti-magic. But yeah.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of the flicky eyes too there for a second.
She does, yeah. She does. But anyway, she completely forgets this memory, which is like an important,
Her cornerstone.
not just an important memory to her, like a really something big in her life that she's told this story tons and tons of times and she suddenly forgets it. And they talk about memories in the show. I can understand like Vikram's point of view through a lot of this. Like I think that memories are really important. I mean, the memory that you have of something to me is like what makes it real. Yeah, I wouldn't want to give up my memories for anything. I think that would be very bad. Why is she? Hi, Jim. Jim Marshall says, why is she anti-magic? Lisa is anti-magic just because she believes in science.
She's a woman of science.
A woman of science, yeah. She believes in science and not magic. Well, she's starting to, I think, believe a little bit magic because she kind of has to with the show. But
yeah, because it has that like that compass thing on the map that's pretty unexplainable.
Yeah, the thing that the pendulum that's floating in midair.
Yeah.
She's gotta go with that. But yeah, she's always trying to science everything away and explain, why something would work by science as opposed to magic. And in this case, she's like, it could be, something like Alzheimer's or whatever, and she's getting sick, and they just didn't notice it. So that's her answer.
Yeah, I like how they contrast that point with later with the memory and the cell phone. Like everybody's gonna lose their memories because they have cell phones and they don't remember it themselves.
Yeah, I like that discussion that Vikram has because he's not wrong. We do use our machines, our cell phones, probably a lot more than we should. I mean, I know I'm glued to mine, so I'm not gonna. I'm
Yeah,
not
like
gonna
people
deny
that say if
that.
there's not a photo of it, it didn't happen, even though you have your memory of it.
Well, but truthfully, anymore, a photo doesn't mean a whole lot of anything either. You know,
Yeah,
it's like you can't believe half the stuff you see anymore on the internet because it's not real. A
yeah,
lot of
it's
it.
true.
But yeah, so they go back to the annex, and this is okay. She says that Eliza says that she thinks Dr. Hirsch suffered a neurocognitive episode. That's what she calls it, and
Yeah.
she's really upset about this too because she did really look up to this woman, and Connor does talk about his grandfather having something similar happened. But Vikram, of course, there he's contemplating, thinks it is a spell, like he always does, just like she always thinks it's science. They go back and forth.
There's some great
But
stuff, like the Talon of Hydroloth, Tally
what, the book?
Stick, the Santarge.
Oh, when he starts listing things, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote
She's
those
like,
all down because they're great. He has great word usage. I love all those. There's all like thick and meaty words.
yeah, well, some of those might be, who
Santarge.
knows, maybe they'll be artifacts we'll see later on down the road.
Yeah.
But Lysa says that, asks why everything must be magic when everything is, she says, when everything is a hammer, it looks, wait, no, when everything is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Something like that. I like the quote, but I butchered it.
You butchered it, yeah.
I like half the quote down. I like summarize the quote. When everything is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Something to that effect. But because he says artifact caused it, but she says it doesn't have to be supernatural. So
Yeah.
that's the idea. But then Charlie comes down.
Well, technically it could. I mean, an older scientist could lose their memory. It's not without the wrong reason.
Definitely could. Although I would hope that if you were having those kind of cognitive problems, they wouldn't have you do it.
Just go, or they wouldn't just come instantly upon you.
Yeah, and maybe helped her out or whatever. But
yeah,
either way, it would. I mean, that does happen, and it is really sad. So, like she says, it's a part of aging. But Charlie comes in with the pendulum. She gives a speech about she had cleaned it or something, fixed it.
I like that she was talking to it.
It does look like that there, doesn't it?
Almost like she was like happy that she had taken care of it.
Yeah, she took care of the pendulum. She explains what she did. I didn't write down what it is, but she explains what she did. And there is the 3D magic. Yeah, basically cleaned it. The 3D magic map that tells them, big surprise, that the magic is near the college. So they know they're assuming that is coming from that. And see, there's the floating pendulum. You can't really see it's floating there because they hide the top of they like cover the top of the wire most of the time, so it doesn't actually look like it's floating. Probably because it's cheaper to do, but I know it does.
Oh, I thought it's on a tether all the time, right? Because it just attaches itself to the tether.
It like attaches itself, but it's like, I don't know. When they showed it before, like it doesn't go up all the way. It's like goes up part. At least that's what I remember. I think it like sort of is, but it sort of isn't. And I think it depends on the angle. And like I said, it probably is a way to make it look. I mean, make it cheaper without having to like always show it floating.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think it would be super hard. I mean, I would think you could just like wrap the wire in green. I don't know how they do wire stuff like that.
I don't know. It looks fine to me. I believe it.
No, it looks fine. I'm just, my point is it floats was my whole point with that.
It floats.
But they're going to go check it out. It indicate, okay, it's at the Science Observatory, but she still doesn't want to jump to conclusions. And this is where Vikram talks about he remembers all the details of this, and he's very observant, and this is kind of a precursor to what you were talking about with the phone, where she's like, I don't remember, I got it on my phone, because she just recorded it. So she puts it up, and they use this AI enhanced 3D program to, I guess, zoom in. I don't know why they needed some
advertisement for AI in here.
I do not understand that they needed a crazy AI enhancement 3D program. I
mean, the first time I saw it, I saw the flicky eyes with my
no, I know, but either way, they could have just zoomed in. I mean, they zoom in like that on CSI and shit all the time, and it's crazy that they do it. But really, all they need is an upscaler, which granted is still AI, but they don't need what they said they needed. They made it a little more complicated, I think, than it needed to be.
Yeah, you could just look at it.
I think maybe they were supposed to be that you could
move around
in 3D space. I don't know, but yeah, there's her flickery eyes. Jim's got a point. It might be foreshadowing for the retinal scanner. Thought about that though. That's actually pretty smart. But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That is later on. You are correct. So yeah, her eyes are, like you said, how do you describe them? Flickering.
Flicky eyes. Because they
Flicky
flick
eyes.
for like a second. They get like those flicky. Well, I would say they were companion eyeballs. We haven't seen the movie yet. There's like companion.
They turn white. Yeah. Yeah. No, I
You
have
know,
not.
the like the space eyeballs when there's no pupil kind of a thing for a second.
Got it. Excuse me. But either way, they're gonna go talk to her. And hey, Muncher, welcome. Okay, let's see. I lost Rosette. So they find Dr. Kirsch, and she is writing out this problem on the board, and I'm assuming that it's some kind of real physics.
Is it a real thing? Is the Blonsky solution a real thing? Because they said they have a contest. Is this real? People in chat tell me if this is real.
I don't know. I mean, I know you've seen a lot of shows, they do have contests like that, but whether that specific one is, I don't know. But it's some kind of
it looks complicated.
Yeah, but either way, it's an unsolvable problem that they're offering, prizes to or whatever. And she like suddenly saw the future and saw the answer to this problem, so she wrote it out. It came in a flash to her. So yeah, but she does not remember. She tells him she doesn't remember the moment under the tree at all. She's completely forgotten about it. That the other guy that I've already forgot his name, the guy from the Ark, that he had to tell her about it because it's completely out of her memory. But yeah, this problem they didn't think would be solved for probably 25 years in the future. But so yeah. So
seems to be a good trade.
Yeah, she's okay. So one of her memories. It seems like only one of her memories is gone anyway. Is the idea, but
it's a good one.
Yes. This is where, whenever they go out in the hall, this is where Vikram is. This is the conversation you were talking about, that he's saying how, we don't use our brains or our hearts or anything anymore because all we use are these machines. And he says that he wouldn't trade his memory for gold or glory. Yeah. Although, to be fair, I feel like if you have a picture, that's like a memory too. I mean, I guess it's not just in your head, but I still look at that like a memory. But yeah, some of my memories I wouldn't trade for anything. So I really get it. Yeah, or painting.
Like the painting has it on, as a memory.
Very true, very true. But as they're talking, some of the students come by there. That's where he's talking about the phone. And this guy, they've forgotten things because he says that he can't remember how he got to the classroom or what to put down for the test. He doesn't even remember the guy's name. So I'm guessing, since they're not supposed to yet be losing that long of a memory, maybe he just met the guy. I don't know, because that wasn't exactly explained, but he says he doesn't even remember his name. So yeah, then this woman comes back out, and she's the one Vikram had been flirting with, and she says she doesn't remember him. So he's like, foul necromancy, which I'm not sure how the hell has anything to do with necromancy, but
but it's funny because she doesn't remember him because she's like, because she under the spell, but he could take it as she doesn't care that he even talked to her.
No, she doesn't. But he's like, the spell is spreading. Yeah, I just thought it was funny though that he said necromancy, because that has nothing to do with it.
Foul necromancy.
But yeah, he automatically assumes that she's under the spell because she doesn't remember him, because he thinks I don't know if he, I didn't until thinking about it in this episode necessarily think he was that pompous, I guess would be the best way to say it. But if he is really that upset because this woman that he flirted with for 2 minutes doesn't remember him, yeah,
well, he's hot stuff, man.
Well, he is, but still, that's kind of like
he's the librarian. Have you heard of
automatically? Yeah, magic. I guess. Yeah, everybody has to remember he's the librarian.
I almost make a drinking game when anybody says I'm the librarian. You take a shot.
Yeah, that would get you drunk pretty quick. Yeah, drinking games are fun though. But yeah, so they're having their conversation and they're talking about the common thread between everybody is that all the students lost their memory, which they kind of just skip through it just to tell us. We've talked to other people, and we get the information dump, and they've all been to the observatory, and he is going to get revenge, violent revenge on these yucky perpetrators, as he calls them, because they're abusing magic.
He's got great facial hair here on the side.
Yeah, he does. But Charlie, tells him that he can't get revenge on people and they're supposed to contain magic, not beat up the bad guys. But he's like, yeah, but that's he calls it the figgy pudding. That's the good thing, I guess, to him, which is kind of a little bit surprising. I don't know. I guess this episode he's just in a beat 'em up mood. I don't know. But then we get now. I want to mention. I don't know what it is. Can you tell what's written on that tree? Because they show it more than once. I don't know if it's something to do with the college, if it's an Easter egg. I don't know. It looks like it says 1EL or LEL or an E inside something. I don't know. I wondered if you had any idea what it was. Something. I don't know.
Guy looking over a wall. Guy raising his arms, looking over a wall.
Yeah, I guess it could be some big top of the E's. Hey, maybe it's for. This is where I think I'm putting too much into it, but I'm thinking technically it kind of could be foreshadowing the guy in the in the padded room later at the end. I don't think it is, but you never know. But
it's not an Easter egg for any other show either.
No, I probably isn't, but I'm just curious what it means. It's probably something for the college they filmed at, I'm guessing, which means it may not even be in English since they didn't film here. They're over in Columbia, so I don't know. But she tells him that she wants to apologize. This is where she says she knows that his memories are important to him because, everybody he knows is dead. All he has left is these memories, and that's like she understands it, and that maybe she shouldn't have been so quick to say that, but this is where he says that there's no need to apologize and calls her Anya. So yeah, it does make me question that does he maybe have some or could he maybe have some feelings for her? Because if he is still seeing her as Anya, I feel like there's got to be maybe something there. Like I don't necessarily see them act like there is, but it makes me wonder that there could be in the future.
There's a slow build.
Yeah, be a slow build. I'm fine with that. I mean, like I said, I don't know that I necessarily see that sexual tension or anything now, but yeah, I mean, it would make sense in the future. But he just kind of covers his slip-ins like, oh yeah, that's what I said. And he sends her with Connor to the astronomy. I was going to say astronomy and astrology. I think it wants astronomy department, the office, to see if they can find anything out. And
that's a great expression on her face.
It is. She's like, but she's going to go with Charlie to try to figure out who's been stealing the memories. He makes a point of saying non-confrontationally, of course. So he's trying to temper his violent tendencies that he seems to be having in this episode. So Lysa and Connor go in to the office. That's a really cool office. I like this set. And they talk to Dr. Stenaris' teaching assistant. Yeah, thanks, Mantra. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I take a lot of. Oh, speaking of, I'm so mad at myself. Just an aside to this. I was moving files from one hard drive to another because my hard drive is almost full and I had to move them. And I mean, I guess granted, it's better to lose than to lose like personal photos, but I don't know if it's just because I was tired. I must have already deleted them after I moved them. And then I went to delete the backup and I deleted it from the place I just put it. And then I went back to get them and I'm like, oh no. So I lost like all of the Severance captures and everything I made over season 2. I'm like, no, look, I'm probably not going to use them again. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, probably not.
But I'd like to at least have the video because, like, I got it. If I need it, I'll have to go find it again.
Yeah,
like, oh. But yeah, definitely better than losing personal photos. Talking about losing memories and shit. But yeah, I was very.
It seems like a very similar situation.
No, yeah, I don't want to lose any memories or shit. No, but seriously, I was like, I must be too tired. But so yeah, I do not have any of my Severance captures anymore. At least not.
Well, about 3 years from now, we can brush them off and have a rewatch. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll have to redo it. But thankfully, I did these after that. So
I'm glad.
But anyway, they talk to his assistant, Stenoris's assistant, whose name is, I don't know why sometimes, like, I must watch it and not listen to the way they say names. I guess you just don't always pay attention to it. Is it Philip or Philippe? I'm assuming it might be Philippe, but
Probably Philippe. I just had him down as the assistant. I didn't even have him with a name.
He's an archivist.
And I said the guy with good hair. He's got some
yeah,
good
the guy with hair. So they're talking to him. There he is. You know, he reminds me of the guy from IT Crowd.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the hair and everything, the costume.
Yeah.
And there's Dr. Sonoris looking at a map. I feel like there's probably some kind of like ARC reference on there that I didn't find.
So if there's anything that I would do right now for shipping is I ship these two guys together. I put bromance. I thought it was headed towards a romance. I was like, these guys.
Well, I mean, you know, before he seemed, Dr. Sonoris seemed a little taken with him at the beginning because he was like spouting off all information and totally showing off, talking about different things. Because they kind of
the fact he went crazy, I'd ship these guys together.
Yeah. Well, no, Vikram was showing off with his knowledge, but even they were talking about the star map, but then also he's like, my pet project is about Shakespeare's understanding of the cosmos.
Yeah, quoting from Shakespeare.
And astronomers seek to understand the universe, and then they start talking about Big Bang and everything.
Look each other deep in the eyes.
Meanwhile, Charlie's over there lurking in the background, sneaky, while they do this. There's the star chart there. But yeah, so they're that's a good picture. So yeah, they're talking about it while she's trying to look in the telescope.
That's a romance picture. Look at them. Look at them. They're enamored.
It does make it look like it. Look at the pictures.
I still want to ship them.
Yeah, you know what? If we need to make like a story out of the screen captures, because sometimes they do look so different. Because now that you said this, you look at Charlie, she's kind of like, "Aw, they don't like me. They like each other." Doesn't she look like that though? In all honesty, she looks very dejected there in that picture.
Yes.
But yeah, she does get to look at the telescope, even if she doesn't get to flirt with. Sorry. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Yes.
But anyway, she looks at the telescope. Meanwhile, now Liza is flirting with Philippe here, but he seems very uncomfortable. I don't know if he's just nervous or what, but I know she says he's sweaty. She says at one point. Look at that. The expression is awesome. But yeah, she's trying to get him distracted while Connor is sneaking into the back office and trying to see what he can find. And he finds this portfolio of John D. He comes out and he's like, we got to go. He basically, tells her they got to go. So they say they're going to go. But yeah, it's documents that were kept by Nicholas Culpeper, a 17th century collector.
Is that real? Now, Culpeper papers, are they real? Chat?
That's what I was going to say. Real. I'm curious. Yeah. I don't know.
I know what Dr. John D is. I know Enochian language, both high and low, is real. Figuratively. Yeah. So, made up.
I have a link. I was going to pull it up here so I could see what it said. I had looked it up, but I don't know what it's about. It is about John. Oh, interesting. Okay, now I don't know who linked this. It was from another site, and I didn't write down where I got the information from. I apologize. But it took me to a science museum group, and it says John Dee's crystal. So I guess it was a real, obviously it doesn't, we don't think, have real magic, but it must be a real artifact though, because it says, and again, this is from sciencemuseumgroup.org. .uk. It says John Dee was an English mathematician and astrologer interested in divination using crystals and mirrors. And the crystal was used for curing disease and predicting the future by looking for symbols or the ghosts of people in the stone. And he claimed that it was given to him by the angel Uriel. Is that how you say it? Uriel? Uriel, and that Uriel instructed him and his assistant Edward Kelly on how to make the Philosopher's Stone, one of the goals of alchemy. Connected to the Philosopher's Stone. Interesting. Well, the Philosopher's Stone that was about not aging. Nicholas Flamel. So that definitely has to do with curing illness and all that, more so than seeing the future. But Yes, Bill. Oh, Revival is on. You are correct. That's why we're going to have our watch party tomorrow night at 10 before our live stream, because we can't be two places at once. Don't have any kind of time travel device to be able to enjoy them both at the same
That would
time.
be cloning, Jamie.
Well, not necessarily. You could get a TARDIS. I'd take the TARDIS.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I'm just saying. No, but that's the other thing too. They put tons of Doctor Who jokes in Leverage. They need Doctor Who jokes in this.
Okay.
I'm saying it.
Oh,
I'm demanding it. Dean Devlin, put more Doctor Who. No, I'm just teasing. I just, they don't really have time travel in this show very often. So, not that they do in Leverage, but
they've had it a few times though.
They do a little bit, but not all the time. It's not timey-wimey. You are correct. So they talk about John Dee a bit, and what they say in the show is that John Dee was Queen Elizabeth I's court magician, and he used his crystal to see the future, but eventually saw something that made him lose his mind and memory. And
foreshadowing.
Didn't recognize anyone right. Yeah, definitely foreshadowing. The library has a TARDIS. Yeah, it kind of is a TARDIS. I used to think of it like that. I know before, because I remember writing it in my notes somewhere. The same thing, the way the door works, it kind of, it's kind of like a TARDIS that is like stuck in one location, technically, kind of, but it somehow connects to the other locations. Yeah, interesting. But yes, I agree with that. So anyway, this crystal supposedly made John Dee lose his mind. And among these Culpeper papers, they have found John Dee's papers, which had an instruction manual on how they are supposed to use the crystal and the jewelry setting that it came in. But it is written in High Enochian, which was a language Dee invented, and only a couple people on the planet can read, which of course Vikram can, which is, and helpful. Of course that, and yes, helpful, but it's also interesting that of course Dr. Daenerys can too. But he's going to go back and translate it. But so they came with the crystal, and it's supposed to tell them how to use it.
But the instructions aren't all there.
Yeah, the instructions, well, they don't know that till he starts going through them. I think it's funny and interesting. We talked, and I know you weren't here for the discussion we had last week, but it just was making me think about it. In Revival, we were kind of making fun of the way they work, because they don't use gloves when they should, and they're touching the evidence.
Oh, but I watched the first episode. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, she's picking up teeth without gloves. It's gross. But anyway.
Yeah, not only is gross, but just not good in the,
Yeah, not good in the evidence.
Investigatory way.
Detective, yeah. But anyway, I was saying, so I think it's kind of interesting that he's using these white gloves when he touches them, but yet he never uses them for any of the other artifacts. So I guess
because this is Dr. John Dee stuff. He's into it.
Yeah, he likes.
He wants to impress his boyfriend, but that love, that romance.
They have Jim says they have a literal TARDIS in the time travel room and in the final curtain end of season 2. I'm not remembering this. I know I've seen it, but it's been so long. It's been years. I mean, I've seen everything.
Go back and reference that episode.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm guessing that you mean like an Easter egg, but geez, yeah, I don't remember that. I don't know if I missed it or I'm just not remembering it. I always say, as I get older, my memory gets worse and worse. But yeah, I don't remember that. It's been some years since I've seen it.
I can't remember.
But I saw all the series, so I've definitely seen it, but that's cool. So anyway, he is figuring all the stuff out there, and he says that the crystal's harmless when it's in the necklace setting, but if it is taken out, it can grant a single desired glimpse into the future, and basically in exchange for a memory. And then it talks about the part of the papers that are missing is it talks about how to amplify it, because it says that the crystal is amplified to the point of clearing the past, and therefore the knowledge of the future is limitless when the past is cleared. They don't quite understand exactly what it means, but they know that it emits spectral particulates, and the rest of the papers are gone and missing, so they can't figure out the rest. But Connor does say that there has been reports that both the crystal and the papers were stolen from the London Science Museum. So that is, I guess, where this guy got it from. How he got it, I don't know. But they didn't, I guess, tell people about it because of all the superstition surrounding the crystal. So they go
tree
back.
again.
Yeah, the tree again. You're right, it is a tree again. So they go back to the college to talk to. I lost where I was. To go see Dr. Sonoris and Philippe and try to get him to confess. Charlie's telling him he can't be violent, that's last resort. And she says the one thing she does say, that they can't force anything. They're not the police. And he's like, but we're a librarian. I'm the librarian. Or
I'm the librarian. Everyone drink.
Yeah. Yeah. He says he's going to put the screws to them to find out what they know. And what if he, I don't know if he means that literally or not, but I guess we won't find out. But Philippe comes by in his car. He's sort of flirting with the ladies there. He's got this expensive car. So Connor and Charlie are going to go find Sonoris. Why him and
he's a teacher assistant. How does he have such a nice car?
Yeah, how does he have this car? And he goes. Liza goes over, and she tells him that he has something they need, and he tries to get away in the car, but Vikram just launches himself into the back seat.
Yeah, I love this whole sequence. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And then Philippe's eyes flicker like the other one, like the woman's did before, and
don't flicker and drive, man.
A memory, and he doesn't remember how to drive. Now, I don't know that this makes tons of look. I think it's a very cool scene, the way that they did it and everything, but I don't know that it makes tons of sense to me, because even if you forgot the memory of learning how to drive, you would still have memory of driving. So you would still know I mean, you might not know like everything, but I would think you would still learn the basics, because it's like something that you repeat.
Maybe he had to give it all up in order to get the numbers to get this car.
Maybe he just
which is ironic, because he would be giving up the memories of driving the car to get the car. Kind of a gift of magi situation.
Yeah, very true.
Like you want the car, but then you wouldn't be able to drive the car.
Yeah, so the car is no use to him. But either way, he can't stop. And I also question too, like, is he controlling which memories he takes? Because it just seems like an odd memory to take, other than it fit. But anyway, he can't slow down.
I felt like it's kind of random, if anything. Just random. Like you don't know what it's going to take.
Well, yeah, it probably is. But I love that picture. That picture is so awesome. But he's like trying to get Vikram's help. And of course, Vikram don't know how the hell to drive a car. So he has to call Charlie and he calls Connor. I think he talks to Connor.
Yeah.
But he says something like, I forget exactly what he says. The motorized carriage, he calls it. Okay.
Yes.
And Charlie takes off in her bike.
Obviously a stunt person.
Yeah, and she is going to binary star system Sirius A and Sirius B in the constellation Canis Major. Sorry, reading her magazine.
Yes.
So Charlie gets on the bike and gets to the car and jumps into the car and pulls the emergency brake. So it stops. And of course it stops right before they smash into the statue, because that makes it more exciting. But no, then she's very confused and she's like, what's going on?
Was that supposed to be her seeing the future to stop it and then lost a memory because of it, or she just lose the memory?
Oh, no, I'm assuming that the future memory had to be future of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I do want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
So she forgets her group of people, because she basically doesn't have the memory, or what they're assuming is that the memory she's missing is of Jacob Stone, who's Christian Kane, recruiting her to be Vikram's guardian. So I guess the idea is that actually does kind of make sense with the driving, though. It's kind of the same thing, because I guess the idea is,
because if you miss the learning of it, then you've missed all substantial moments in the car
when
where you'd be
one
driving.
memory or one event disappears, then everything subsequently is gone because she
Yeah.
doesn't remember them at all. It's like she never met them. So yeah, I
Mhm.
guess that does make some kind of sense. But yeah, she has no idea who they are and why she's there. But we do find out from Philippe that he had a vision. His vision of the future was seeing a roulette wheel, and that's why he
Mhm.
knew the numbers to play to get the car, to win the car, win the money to get the car. And he
But
says
at
that he
what cost? Now he can't drive the car.
I can't drive the car. You're right. That
The
does
old
really suck.
memory.
But he ran because he thought it was cheated. He was cheating basically to get it, and he thought someone would come after him, and they seemed like they knew what was going on. So that's why he ran away from him, not
Mhm.
because of he was stealing people's memories. So he talks to Charlie, and they find out that her memories missing are actually 2 months of memories as opposed to like just. And see, that kind of makes me wonder too. I guess the other people, some of their memories are old, but they only lose like one memory. I don't know. It just seems kind of
I
confusing to
thought
me.
it was like a monkey's paw thing where you only lose one memory, but it's one of the most important memories you have that negates a
Probably.
whole bunch of other stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
Well, I don't
trick.
know. I just ask because Vikram's idea is that she lost 2 months of memories. So
Hmm.
therefore the power of it, the crystal's growing because it was a memory further back.
Oh
But then I
yeah,
have to question if that's the case, then that does mean that guy would have had to have just learned how to drive. So yeah, I
yeah.
think there's
Because if
something
not, his memory be like 5 years in the past.
right. So I think
Yeah,
that there's some kind of disconnect there. Either they didn't explain it right, or more likely they made a mistake and didn't think about it. But yeah, she
or he
doesn't
could
have
have
any.
just learned how to drive. We'll just take it like that.
Yeah, because I do
Philippe's
think
a
it's like
very
it does
intellectual
mean.
person that can't drive very well.
Well, the thing is, at this point, they don't know that actual events are changing. Because the
Yeah,
idea is anything that's happened after that, that happened because of her being the guardian, never happened. So that's why she
yeah.
doesn't, remember it. But he does say, oh, if you would have better sense in this if you were recruited to begin with from the library. And she's like, well, how do I know you're not trying to corrupt me? Because she's like, how do you know about the library? But either way, he does convince her by telling her everything of the like she's part of the team, and that he'll explain to her what she needs to know. And
Mhm.
he basically tells her, she's helping them.
And there was an Eve name drop in that scene too.
Yeah. A what? I'm sorry. A what?
An Eve name drop. Eve was the only person from the
Oh,
old librarians that wasn't name dropped yet, so I just waited, and there was a name drop.
yeah. They did. They did mention
Because
it.
all the rest of them, like Cassandra, was name dropped. Jenkins, I think John Lorquette's name was. He was name
Yeah.
dropped.
What about I'm not gonna
The
remember his name
Australian
now.
guy, I can't remember his name.
Not Jacob. What'd you say? The strong guy.
The Australian guy.
Oh,
I can't
Australian
remember
guy.
his name. I can't remember
Yeah,
his name.
that was who I meant. I couldn't. I'm trying to think. Oops, I'm looking up the wrong librarians. Uh, I know I had it, and then it like went Ezekiel. Yeah,
Ezekiel? Oh, Zeke.
Ezekiel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Ezekiel?
Zeke. It was Ezekiel.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because we heard about Flynn, and so yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway.
I thought it
Um,
was cool that they name dropped her.
no, I do too. I think it's cool. Oh, Jim said
Oh,
they
he
met
was
Daniel
name
from
dropped.
Ezekiel. So
I
you're
probably didn't
picking
know
up
his whole
on.
name was Ezekiel.
That's probably why you didn't pick up on it.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
probably
know.
just went over my head.
I missed it. I didn't remember them saying it. I remembered him saying about Flynn, but I didn't
And
remember
plus,
it.
I also just call him the Australian guy at the time
Yeah,
because I can't remember his name.
yeah, that's Ezekiel. Um, I like him. I miss him. I liked all of them, so I can't say there's any that I don't miss. Um, but anyway, I lost what I was saying. Uh, anyway, her memory is messed up because of that, and he convinces her by like saying that she doesn't believe in herself because she doesn't remember anything that happened from that point on, but that he can tell her so she'll remember. So Philippe here, I lost my pictures, thinks that the artifact might be in the basement, and it might be in the basement of the vault in the basement. I'll get it eventually. So that's what they're going to go look at. And this is where he's talking to Charlie and explaining to her there. Okay, so they get to the vault, and Lysa uses her AI program, which again, I'm not sure that you need an AI program to take a picture of somebody's eye, but that's neither here nor
But
there.
also, can you use a picture of somebody's eye to get into this thing?
I don't know. I do know
because that
you
would
can
mean
use
the
some-
security would be really lax.
Well, you can use a picture of somebody's face. I know if it's like a facial recognition, because they did it on MythBusters before. They used
really?
facial recognition and they used fingerprints. Yeah, they used a fingerprint scanner too. They made fingerprints. I think out of latex. I don't know. They pulled them up and made fingerprints, and they were able to fool it pretty easily. Now, retinal scanner, I think, is harder to fool. I'm guessing that that's maybe the point of the AI is, like I said, maybe they're able to like 3-dimensionally go around the scene. So like it's 3-dimensionally recreating it and therefore it's a full retina scan. I don't know.
Because I would think it'd have to be 3D and it'd probably be without the glasses on because the glasses would,
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the AI 3D program as a sci-fi fan, we can rationalize anything. Yeah, we can come up with something. That's why I said I'm guessing it like made like a 3D scan of it, so it could completely fool the retina scan. But yeah, they can do a lot here. But in real life, I don't know how easy it is to fool a retina scanner. I don't think it's as easy as to fool as a facial scanner.
Yeah, because you don't even see the shape of the eye itself.
Yeah, probably would get more of it that way. So
that isn't even straight on; it's to the side.
Yeah, I know. But no, I agree with you. So yeah, they use the 3D part to fix it. But they get so he's talking. I got more of him talking to Charlie, which isn't really helpful. So they get in to the vault, and she goes back and gets them to come in, Charlie and Vikram to come in. And there is the picture of the physicist there on the wall. And this is where it changes into this guy. And
now it's this guy.
Yeah, it changes to this guy.
And the book is completely the same, except his pictures.
Yeah, that's a couple pictures later. So Vikram has found the case that the crystal was in, but it's empty. And then this is this astrophysicist, Laszlo Mach. Anyway, he is now the one that invented the stuff that Kirsch did, because it's not just this is where they figure out it's not just erasing memories, it's erasing the actual past, that his knowledge is costing actual historical events. And Lysa says
it caused them to pick the same design for the book.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it changed into what would have happened instead. I don't know. But Lysa does make a point of saying that they're locked in, and she makes a point of saying that at least I think this is what she says, not what he says, a remorseless monomaniac, or maybe that's what he repeats back to her. I don't know. But anyway, he's listening, and she's saying that, he shouldn't do this because it's going to cause big problems by taking taking the future or the past away. And he's basically like, I don't care. He's listening through the door. He's locked them in the vault is the point. And they're trying to figure out how to get out. So they're talking about it too, and how he needs the people's memories to amplify the power. Each time someone looks through the crystal, the memories grow in strength. And it takes more memories, the crystal grows in strength. And Connor asked about Charlie, and they talk about her looking in the telescope, and they figure out it's in the viewer. Yeah. So remorseless monomaniac. I don't know, but anyway, he doesn't care.
Sociopath.
Sociopath. So they're trying to figure out how to get out, and they do explain like why it didn't change right away. They have this this science conversation about like ripples on water, how like they take a while when you throw a stone, like the ripples take a while to get to you, which is why like that Kirsch lost the memory of being under that tree, but the book and the photo didn't change till like way later. So yeah, it's just an explanation of that. And meanwhile, he's busy trying to take more memories. But the problem, well, there it's growing. The crystal is.
Yeah, I like this effect. This effect's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool looking. It's cool looking. So they realize that Charlie like lost the memory of meeting Jacob and becoming the guardian, and that if Charlie never became his guardian, then no one was ever able to save them from the Drekivek in the first episode. So that would mean that all of them would be dead if they don't figure this out. So meanwhile, Connor there's like this whole explanation about security systems, and they need to trip it, and that they can basically turn on the fire overrides failsafe, like the sprinklers or whatever. It'll open it. I mean, I think that probably is true that most vaults have a failsafe that like if a fire started, they'd have to let you out so you don't die.
Is this before or after he starts yelling panic is the enemy?
Was that what he said in French?
Yeah, well, he said panic is the enemy a couple times, and then he said it in French. I didn't know if it was a quote from somebody. I might look it up later.
Yeah, no, I just wrote down he was talking.
It's like Sartre or something.
Yeah,
that's gonna be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but he starts saying like, "Oh, I can use this. We can use this." There it is in his hand, the magnifying glass, and like, if we can get light hit onto it, we can make a spark and a fire from the magnifying glass. If we can generate heat, and then we can turn on a sprinkler system, it'll open. And instead, they use a lighter, and he's like, tiny portable tinderbox. So
yeah, it's a case of punking the dandy.
Yeah, it's science magic instead of
science magic.
Yeah, science magic. But that bubble thingy that does look really cool. It's getting bigger and bigger.
It looks really good.
It does. It looks cool. I like it. And so it fills the whole room, and he's got his thing. That's what's protecting him, that necklace. But when they go in the bubble, they like immediately don't know what's going on. So because of the spectral, they explain it's because of the spectral particulates. And they pull him back out, and they know that they need to get the crystal away from him. And Vikram says, which I don't know about this, but hey, he's a librarian, so I guess I can buy it. That
he is a librarian.
He's the librarian, so he has special powers. No, he says that because of his mental discipline will protect him, because basically he can compartmentalize his memories. Which basically he explains means that he's giving him shit memories that don't matter instead of the important ones.
The one time I had a bad breakfast at this restaurant.
Yeah, he's bringing
the one book I liked, and what book I read I didn't like.
Yeah, he's bringing irrelevant memories that he doesn't need to the front of his mind in order to not think about the stuff he don't want to lose. And he thinks that he can, hold him off more. But is it the case, or is he just being heroic? I don't know. He does say, he's like, no, I'm the librarian. My memories don't mean any more than yours. Because she's like,
is he the librarian?
Yeah, because she says something like that he shouldn't risk them. But yeah, he's saying he's no more important than she is, and if he can do it, then he needs to be the one that needs to risk it. So
I don't know. The effects pretty much sold me on he was compartmentalizing.
Yeah, no, I believed it. I'm just it's interesting, but I would think. Well, I don't know if anybody could do it. I guess it'd be hard. But he goes in and he's trying to resist.
You probably just have to really focus on the things that you don't really care about that much.
Right. He whoops, that's too far. Okay, so he's giving him things that he doesn't need, meaningless memories, and
they look for like pictures of buildings.
Yeah, I didn't get the picture of the buildings, but yes, he's showing picture of buildings.
There's various pictures of things, like old-timey black and white drawings. Maybe it's drawings that he draw.
Well, that's what he remembers instead of pictures. but he's struggling. But Stenaris realizes what he's doing, basically, and he's like, what memory do you value the most in the world? He does
Tricked
that
him.
in order to get his
He
memory.
tricked him.
Yeah, he tricked him. And even though he doesn't want it to happen, it takes away his memory of Anya. Although I have to say, I'm not sure that made tons of sense on that guy's part, because Stenaris's part, because he like did it to be mean. Like, him not remembering his girlfriend or fiance or whatever is not going to affect him remembering the crystal or not. So I'm not sure how that benefited him, other than he's just a mean guy and wanted to take away his important memory.
Maybe those memories are more powerful, and maybe that gives him more future memory.
That's true. Definitely could be.
The more sacrificial the memory is, the more he gets to take control of the future or see the future.
No, you're totally right. And although I don't have a picture of it, Charlie is starting to disappear from their timeline.
It's a little Back to the Future there.
Yeah, this is also where I was a bit confused, because
I was kind of confused.
She's phasing out of existence of their timeline. But the fact of the matter is, they said that her not having known them would cause them to be dead. So why is she fading out and not them?
Yeah, because they would. Well, maybe it's this timeline. This is an alternate timeline.
I don't know. Yeah, they definitely said that she's she's disintegrating out of their timeline. But I'm just saying, like, it confuses me why they weren't disintegrating and it was her.
Yeah, and why wasn't everybody?
Yeah, I don't know. But either way,
it's an effect.
Yeah, it's just the fact.
That's cool.
While Vikram is trying to fight him off, she's trying to help. Lysa's trying to help Charlie. That's a cool shot. I wonder if they took like a real shot of the observatory. Probably. But Connor is climbing over and into the observatory to help him, and the bubble expands. And when it does that, he forgets everything as well. And then there's some stuff about John D with Vikram talking to Stenaris, where he's saying about that he has the necklace. You know how the villains always explain their plan and everything.
Yes,
and
how it's part of the thing.
They have to. And how he kept the important papers out of his office, since he just happened to know that language as well. So they talk about that. But either way, he's telling him this because he thinks that Vikram isn't going to remember anything, and it isn't going to matter. Because he does say, you're in tremendous pain, but can't remember why. And then he starts, spouting off what he wants to do, and that he's going to see the future, and he's going to publish his work, and that he's going to be important and all this, And while he's doing this, Connor has forgotten what's going on, but he starts to kind of like going to end up falling in there. And it sort of wakes up Vikram, I guess is the best way to say it. It makes him remember about the crystal. And he sneaks up, and he does get the necklace off of him, and he throws it back to Connor. And then Connor remembers why he's there once he has it. Because at first he has no clue what's going on either, because he's, forgot. But he does remember then. And it's funny because when he takes it, then both Stenaris and Vikram are like completely lost for a little bit of time. Yeah, they're each forgetting. But now they remember, because he has put it back and put it where it's supposed to go.
And the blue cloud's gone.
Yeah, they also knock the crystal off of the telescope, because they have to get it off the viewer. Because he does. This is the part where he picks it up. He doesn't even know what it is, but they do, and they take care of it. So their talk. So the next day, so everything seems to be okay. Liza's talking with Dr. Kirsch again, and she talks about, and again, this is, I guess the disintegrating part is, I forgot that she said she felt like she was disappearing. So I guess it isn't just about death. It's about the memory disappearing. But,
well, they also saved Charlie, and she didn't disintegrate. You don't have a picture of that.
Sorry. Yes. She saved Charlie. Charlie didn't disintegrate, but I think people know that.
Just for those out there that didn't see the episode.
Yeah. Charlie's fine.
She didn't disappear.
She didn't disappear. She's fine. So Dr. Kirsch remembers now how she developed the hypothesis, but she's gotten rid of that equation on the board because she said the way it popped into her head didn't make sense, and that they should be finding things because of scientific advancement and, replication of scientific method and all these things. And it was like an answer came like magic. And so, yeah, she didn't trust it. So she erased it and forgot
That's
about
too
this.
bad.
Yeah. So she let herself forget about this really, really super important scientific discovery, which I don't believe, but yeah. I just question that any scientist.
Really, that's realistic.
No, I mean, it's just when you watch TV and like you
Yeah.
you see about scientists and like how sometimes they're really like intense. I just can't see a scientist being like, oh yeah, I'll just forget about it.
That'll be like her next book. Will be that.
Yeah. So she's telling them she's forgetting about it, but who knows?
But maybe that closes the loop and everything. Maybe it closes the loop.
It probably does close the loop.
Yeah.
It sounds like the people do forget about it because they asked Charlie what she saw in the future, and she says, oh, she forgot. So yeah, I think maybe they eventually do forget. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, they say it's for the best. Okay, so back at the annex. Yeah, I was a little. They're putting the John Dee's crystal away, but Vikram asks Charlie what she saw, and she says that the memory disappeared. So yeah, Jim says Charlie is lying. That's my question: is Charlie lying? But I also have to wonder if Charlie saw a vision of the future. Like, didn't they see a vision of the future? Like, I guess they didn't lose their memory. Did they? They did after. Like, I would think that Vikram would have had like quite a few visions of the future because he took a lot of his memories. And Connor lost the memory of the crystal when he was hanging there. So yeah, they don't question each other, which I find a little interesting. But I guess I'm assuming that maybe that'll come up later since they did ask her and she did say, oh, I don't remember.
Well, she got fully focused because she was looking at telescope for a while.
Yeah.
Got it right in the eyeball.
The other thing is if they don't have Charlie forget, then you have the loose ends of everybody else would remember their future, pieces. And like that wouldn't make sense. So it's probably just is to close the hole. I can buy it. It's okay.
Yeah. But it would be fun if those future memories just came up randomly throughout the season.
It would. I don't think it will, but it would. Kimberly says, I kind of feel like she was lying. Maybe she saw something that was pretty bad, like that guy who the band is named after. You mean, now that you said it, Gregor. Is his name Gregor? Gregor?
Oh, Gregor, yeah. Oh, good old Gregor.
Yeah, I'm sure that's coming back around. But yeah, they say they forgot, supposedly. And Connor's like, I wonder where Stenoris ended up. And we see him, I love this, we see him in a padded room there, spouting off his science and saying, oh, I saw the future and everything. But he says of like how if it wasn't for that librarian, this seemed totally, and it made me laugh, but it made me think of Pinky and the Brain. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
It was always like, we will try to take over the world. And then it's like, but no, if it wasn't for those meddling librarians, I don't know. It just makes me think of Pinky and the Brain. I'll try to take over the world next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
wait till I get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting if he did get out of there, actually, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. He
so you said this actor usually plays villains?
Yeah, he plays a villain on art. Well, he plays a villain. He helps them in the end, so he's not like all bad. But Jim says, I thought that was a really bad idea, putting him away with all he knows about the library. Some villain is going to get info. The thing is nobody. They probably are thinking nobody believes him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he did come back. I know that Dean Devlin had hinted that somebody that was in it was going to come back, and I have no idea, but that would be interesting. But yeah, either way, I liked the ending. I liked how they did it with him, and I thought it was funny, especially because it made me think of that. That's my memory watching Pinky and the Brain all those years ago. Probably decades ago. God, I don't know how long that is.
But also mental illness is no joke, everyone.
Yeah, no, I think, yes. Jamie getting old is no joke. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I was an adult though when it was on. I don't think it was that long ago I saw it. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so that is the episode. Yeah, I think that an episode on memory is really interesting because there's so many things.
What is he eating here? Like some apple slices and some.
Oh, I forgot. Kimberly's right. I forgot. How did I skipped this part? Let's see. Okay, this was before that. This is when they're talking. They talk about the great minds of. Okay, where did I have it? Oh, okay, here it is. He talks about risking what matters to save them. Lysa says it, and then he says, like Descartes, and he says, "I think, therefore I am, but maybe I remember, therefore I am," and that's the truth of it. So yeah, and then he's looking at the painting of Anya. I thought that was pretty interesting. I like that they changed the quote. I remember, therefore I am, or we remember. I think he said, "I remember." I think. But yeah, I did like that line. I thought that was good. But yeah, anyway, as I was starting to say, I do like that they had a story about memory because there's a lot of different things, places they could go. They could still bring back pieces of it. I think would be interesting.
And it ties in with his story with the woman I loved.
Yeah, with all his memory. Yeah, my guess about who's coming back is the lack on account of Elaine being the caretaker of the Serbian annex, and they have history with the lack. Now I have to look that up here so we can get more information. Was that from the original too?
I think so. Wasn't he played by Matt Frewer, or is that somebody else I'm thinking of?
Oh yeah, it was Matt Frewer.
Max Headroom, everybody. Yeah,
Max Headroom. He was a ruthless sociopath is popping up. Yeah, I remember him being in it, and I'm pretty sure, a villain. Yeah. And then Jim also says that Elaine of Ocelot was enamored of Lancelot. I'm not sure if that means it's a translation or just that she was enamored by Lancelot. I'm not sure. But yeah, and well, we're getting to a Camelot episode.
Camelot, yeah, we're getting the Camelot. So
it would definitely make sense. But yeah, I'd love to go back to what Jim was saying though before. I would love to see Matt Frewer again.
Oh yeah,
I still never get his name right, but Matt Frewer. Muncher says, has anyone watched the new Bigfoot Yeti videos, AI videos? They're diabolical. I have not, but you know what? They were talking about them on the radio the other day, and I was like, that is kind of freaky. Like, that's why I said you can't believe anything you watch anymore. You just gotta, yeah. I'm at the point.
You just get an uncanny valley feeling.
Yeah, but you gotta have proof with your own eyes, not with the camera anymore. Although I don't know how I know it screws up with them making fake proof of things, but I have to kind of question how you can get real proof of anything,
Oh, that's a point.
So, no, I'm just saying, like, because you don't know what you can believe. You can't believe anything anymore.
You catch a Bigfoot and you just bring it in.
Yeah, you catch Bigfoot, right? You're right.
Yeah.
You are correct. I saw
Bigfoot here.
That's cool.
Bigfoot tooth.
Yeah, Bigfoot tooth. Yeah. But yeah, I would like if parts of this episode came back up later. I don't know that it will, but I think it would be cool if it did. I could see that coming back up, especially with Charlie.
Yeah.
I
mean, it would be kind of cool if it was just sprinkled in here and there,
Yeah. That would make sense too. But they show little things. It makes me wonder if certain things are coming back. Because the other thing that I think might come back is the Scythe of Time. Whenever Vikram was like putting it in that box.
Yeah. Because he was kind of looking at it and thinking.
So yeah, maybe he's going to use all his knowledge of all these that he's gotten in all these episodes to try to travel back. Because I feel like at some point he's going to try to travel back and cause a big problem. Just because I can see that happening. So yeah, that would be cool. But I mean, not be cool. I don't want it. I know he's not going to go back, but I mean that storyline would be interesting. So yes. All right. Let me see here. I'm trying to see how many we got? All right. So what else? Anything else with the episode? You guys in the chat, do you have anything else you wanna talk about? Jim says, I think we're so used to seeing each season having one big arc, we expect to see it all come back and connect at the end of the season. Yeah, definitely think that the pieces are kind of seeded throughout it. And I kind of hope they are. But at the same time, I get that this show is, it's independent episodes. It's not always this big mythology, but it doesn't mean it can't be.
It can kind of be. It can kind of be both. I mean, it can be contained episodes within a larger plot.
Yeah, it's so far, it doesn't seem like it is, but it could end up having some kind of wraparound plot, which would be cool. The Bigfoot Venture says the Bigfoot videos are humorous vlogs. You have to watch them. Yeah, I have to try. Maybe I should try to make some. I have been messing around.
Bigfoots are co-hosts now.
Yeah, Bigfoots are co-hosts. Yeah, well, no, it's just Midjourney released its video model, so I've been playing a bit. But yeah. So what else? Anything else? Anybody else? If you, like I said in the chat, if you have any other things of the episode you want to talk about, please let us know.
Any new shipping that you guys want to
do? Any new shipping you want to address, or
anything in the future?
I know that we talked about Vikram and Lysa, I think, a bit last time.
Well, I see a little bit more with that scene where they were together. I get it a little bit more than I did last week.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, I don't know that I see anything between them, but I definitely could see how there could be in the future. Like, I don't see it quite yet, but I would totally be fine with that. Actually, I wouldn't mind a ship on this show. I think that there could be one and it could work out good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My thing is, I hope they bring back some more people from the original show I'd like to see, or bring back Jacob again or something. That'd be cool. But
yeah, it'd be cool if you even had a scene where they're on the phone or something, like something that, just tie them back in.
Have their voice or something.
On a computer or something.
So the next, I lost the thing with the episode list. The next episode is, I'm trying to see which, because I know I haven't seen all of them. I've reordered them. No, the next one is in the House of Cards. This one coming up is the other one that I said was my other favorite one. The House of Cards and the Ghost Train were my two favorite ones. Out of the ones I've seen, I've seen 8, so those are my two favorite out of the 8. I have no idea about the last 4. I'm just happy there's 4 more, because I had thought there was 10, and then when I was talking to them, they're like, "There's 4 more, not 2 more." And I'm like, "Oh, yay! There's more than I thought. I got even more to watch." Because that's the one bad thing about having to watch, them early for interviews. Like, it's fun, but then I got longer to wait. But it's nice that we have season 2 coming too. Thanks, Jim. You too. So yeah, tomorrow we have revival. What I was wondering too is next week, I don't know, I'm wondering if there's something we can do. It's like, I'm thinking next week when we do this, it's going to be on my birthday. I'm like, I wish we could think of something to do, like some kind of like birthday, I don't know, birthday live stream, but I don't know what to do. I was like, maybe you guys have, the heck is that? Have some suggestions there. Okay, I already know about that. Sorry. I have my watch was telling me something. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions of something fun we could do on the stream, let me know. But I will be here because I still want to cover this show next.
On your birthday?
On my birthday. Hey, I have interviews, I think, on my birthday, so I'm working anyway. Well, I'm waiting to see. I think I do.
I mean, me and Bigfoot co-host next week if you want the time off.
Well, I've said before, I want to look at getting a VTuber, like some kind of 3D model or something to use to host for me sometimes. Not because I care. I mean, I put my video up. I don't really care. My camera's fine. But hold on, I gotta move. Stupid cushion never stays in the same place. But I think, like, I want to put some kind of animated character up or something, just because I think it'd be cool, like to co-host and stuff sometimes. Plus, then when you want to go off the screen, you can put something up. But yeah, I had been looking into how to run them. So yeah, eventually you guys may see somebody else instead of me. Something fun. I don't know. Could be interesting. But for now, it's just me.
Or you could say, like, you're mentioning the like Yellow Jackets thing where you could be like the queen card. You could be talking.
Yeah, it could be the queen card. I don't know how. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's that difficult through OBS. I don't know about for a second person. You'd probably have to have your own thing running. I don't know, but I do know that like regular cameras, you can get programs for free that will do like a motion capture. So you don't even have like you can do ones that are just like an animated mouth, like a 2D thing, or you can actually do like 3D models that motion captures it. I can't work on my birthday. Well, sorry, Muncher. I don't want to if I get the interviews I'm trying to get on my birthday, I'll be happy to get them. So I don't want to skip them. But yeah, I think I can do a live stream at 11. I think I'll be back by then. At least I should be back by then. Probably going out.
I always got lucky on my birthday because it's a week that I have off in between summer camp and the school year starting.
Oh, good. Yeah, that helps.
So I
mine's always, I mean, mine's in the summer, so I never had. Well, no, that's not entirely true.
Summer?
1 year.
In summer.
I was gonna say 1 year I had school during my birthday growing up because I took summer school 1 year to get ahead.
Yeah.
But other than that, and that was in college, so it didn't matter. I've always been in the summer, so it hasn't mattered. But
yeah,
I don't know.
You say you took summer school?
1 year in college, I took I took
some classes. Like I took a Chaucer class, and that was
it wasn't
crazy.
exactly summer school. I mean, it was summer semester, I should say.
Because we had to read the whole Canterbury Tales within a week. It was like medieval literature. I'm like, this is a very long book to do in a week.
I am not a speed reader unless it's something I want to read. Like I can read fanfic really quick if I'm like into fanfic, which I shouldn't admit. Or like I've said before, I find it funny when I tell people, and I think other people find it funny, but like I love watching sci-fi and fantasy. I do not like reading sci-fi and fantasy generally. I like reading, like if it's like young adult sci-fi fantasy, like I tend to like it. I think just because that type of sci-fi fantasy usually isn't in like regular novels. Like I like
what? Like what book?
Like Harry Potter, but not just Harry Potter. I mean, there's been some young adult different series I've read. Like I know I read the one Cassandra Clare series, and I can't think of what it's called. Clockwork. I forget. I loved it. I'm not talking about Shadowhunters. I'm talking about the other series. But like those, you tend to get sci-fi fantasy and young adult where like you usually can't get that type of, at least not that I've found, book that I've found enjoyable. Usually sci-fi and books are like heavy, bogged down, lots of
Isaac Asimov or something like that.
Yeah, like I don't like reading the science. I like watching the science, but not reading the science. So yeah, when I read stuff, it tends to be fanfic or young adult, and yes, I'm way too old for that, but still, or like romance books or something. Jamie, did you major in TV analysis? No, I did not major in TV analysis. I wish you could do that. I know sometimes now they have those kind of classes, like they have like classes focusing on plot, that kind of thing. No, they didn't have that when I was in college. No, they
have a lot of TV classes that are cool. I'm like, I wish I could have been able to take that course.
I wish they did. Now I'd like to go back and take a TV class, but no, I had a double major. Well, it was kind of a custom major. It's a long story, but anyway.
Yeah, I did a custom major too, so I understand what you did.
Yeah, I had theater and art and information tech. So because it was basically I had theater and I had web design, but they didn't. It stunk though because like at the time they didn't even have the like the, what do you want to call it, like the computer art type classes that I wanted, like on animation and stuff. I had a couple 3D animation classes, but they needed like a teacher to get the more advanced classes, and at the time they didn't. It was like just new. So I was into the stuff that nobody else was teaching yet. That's why all the website stuff and the coding and all that for that kind of thing I've taught myself. But
I had a writing degree where I could take a little bit of the creative writing, a little bit of tech writing, but my professors just kind of melded it all together, so I could do a little bit of each.
That's cool. Well, it worked for me because I originally, the reason why I got a custom one rather than doing two majors was, long story short, I have really extremely bad allergies, and I couldn't do things like set design because I can't cut wood, and I can't be in a wood shop, and I couldn't do like oil paints and stuff. Anything that's got like a an odor or perfume. So anyway, I ended up
Well,
getting the class.
that's a hard thing to get into then.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. So basically, I took the acting, I took the directing, I skipped the set stuff, and then like I took all the art classes, but I got to skip certain art classes. And like when I took photography, I took it with a digital camera.
You couldn't be in a development
I couldn't
room.
be in a dark room,
Yeah.
right? I couldn't develop it, but I was allowed to take it. I just did it with a digital camera. But that's okay. I mean, some of that I don't know that I wanted to take. I mean, I probably would have liked set design, but I would have wanted to do the design, not like the cutting and making. Although I don't know, I'm crafty, but yeah.
Just tell people what to do.
Yeah, I tell people what to do. Well, hey, that's what you do when you take your director class.
Yeah,
that was fun. I enjoyed directing. But yeah. Anyway, it was basically
directed anything.
A one-act play that I directed back in college. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like a sequel or a spin-off to the Glass Menagerie, and I can't remember what it was called.
Oh,
but forever, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. But I basically it was basically theater plus computer stuff, because I was trying to do like web design and animation, but they just didn't have some of what I wanted. Did I at least minor in what YouTube streaming? Monster, I wish there was a class for YouTube streaming. I've said multiple times, I think I need to take some kind of like social media business thing, because I feel like I don't know a lot of this.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got a Twitter account. God, I remember we were doing. I was at the press tour for Sci-Fi Channel, and they're like, "You guys are supposed to tweet this stuff live," and that was when I started Twitter. And like as we did the event, I was tweeting everything, and I typed fast, so I had fun with that, and that's when I started live tweeting a lot of the like watch parties and interviews and stuff when we did conference calls. I don't really live tweet interviews anymore because I'm busy posting the interview, but
yeah,
I used to. But yeah, I don't know. I've kind of learned what I can. But yeah, tomorrow, you said you watched Revival, right?
I watched the first episode. I'll probably watch the second episode tonight because it is recorded into my DVR.
Okay, I was gonna say watch it tonight or watch it with a watch party. You should come and call in if you want to.
Oh.
I need to remember to put up StreamYard links if people want to call in. I never remember to do that.
Anybody want to call in? Well, I'm sure you want to call in.
Yeah, I can put up the StreamYard link. We'll be here for a little bit, but yeah, you should call in. Was my point with all that.
Technically call in. You just use the link. It's not really calling in. But...
Well, I call it calling in. I know. Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about Zoom, and they're like, "It's not calling in." I'm old school. I still say
that. Well, it's old school. Yeah, you had a phone before.
We used to have a podcast and stuff where you use the phone. So that's
Tony Teflon still has a phone call in. So.
Yeah. There's the StreamYard, guys. If anybody wants to join us on here and call in, feel free. Just make sure you tell us ahead of time so we know you're a legit person. But anyway, my point was, if you watched it, you should join me and Lori and call in.
Yeah.
But yes, tomorrow at 11. We have. Sorry.
It's Friday at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have From Academy.
Oh, that's right. You have
but whenever that starts. Last time it started at like 1:45 a.m. So.
Well, we'll probably be done by then. So.
Oh wait, that was the Duster one. That one started late too, because it was supposed to start at like 11:30. Then it was 12:30. Then it was almost 1 when it started.
Well, so join us at the beginning before you start. No, I know.
I probably odds are good.
No, you should join us at the beginning. But yeah, we have, for people that want to see it, we have Revival watch party at 10, live stream at 11. These are all Eastern. And then Sunday, I'll be back at 11 with Lori for Dead City. And then Monday, me and you have Midnight Murderbot. And then Tuesday is our roundup show at 10. And hi, Doc. Welcome. Yes, everybody, please like and subscribe. I know you guys have you said you have From Academy. I just remembered too, because Doc's there. I want to watch it. I need to take time to watch it. I keep saying I'm going to, and I haven't done it yet. I need to, but yeah, I need to get back into dissecting and watching From. But I think I sort of was like frommed out just a little bit from doing too many live streams there for a bit. But I got all frommed out. I got all frommed out. But yeah, I was going to say, make sure you guys, we have on the 13th of July, whenever the Institute drops on Sunday nights at 9, we're going to have watch parties. So make sure you come to Discord for that. And then I miss From too. I always miss From. And then Scarlet, me, and Lori are going to be doing our show Sunday night for the Institute for our breakdown. And then I'll have the review show with Karen and AJ sometime later in the week because I'm crazy and doing too
That's
many.
not my question, because I thought, are we all going to do it at once? Because you were talking about AJ, and I was like, is it going to be you?
No.
AJ, Karen, Lori.
No. AJ and Karen and I are going to do a review show. Like we don't really dive into it. We just kind of review it, like we did
for a recap
last show. Yeah, where me and you and Lori will do more of like the breakdown. I mean, we'll review it too, but we do more of like a dive into it.
Yeah.
So I figured it didn't.
Or any theorizing.
Yeah. So we can do both. If it gets to be too much, we won't. But we should be able to do both. And then I know me and you are going to figure out when we're going to fit Sandman in there somehow.
Yes.
I don't
there's also novelists. I'd also like to do novelists somewhere along the line.
If we can, yeah. I don't know if we can fit that many. We'll have to see. But there's the TARDIS. Yeah. I don't know if that's the same person that was in our chat here. They're talking about the TARDIS. The same person. They sent me on Blue Sky.
Can you put it up?
I don't know. I can try. Let me see. I gotta log in. I don't know if I'm logged in.
I gotta like sign up for Blue Sky.
Well, I used it or started using it. A lot of people. Hold on, use it. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, there's a lot of steampunk people that use it.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it up. It depends if I'm logged in or not on the computer because that was on my phone. But somebody, I'm guessing it was. It might have been Jim that sent it. I don't know if that's the same person or not, but it seems odd that I happened to get a notification about the TARDIS in there and being in the library right at that time. So I'm going to guess that that's probably Jim. Let's see. Let me save it. I got to save the image I'll save it in the library file. And then hopefully.
Library.
If it'll update, which I'm hoping. Let's see. How do I click? Is there like an update? I'm using I don't know what you call it, Windows Photo View or wherever. Here it is. See there, it's not fitting the whole scene, but there's a little.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, TARDIS in the time traveler in the library. I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Interesting. Homage.
Yeah, like I said, I know that they have a lot of Doctor Who jokes on Leverage, so I'm not surprised. But that's cool. And I totally lost what I was saying before then. I don't know. We'll try to do Nautilus too. But I know, I think there's 6 episodes of Sandman, I think, dropping at once. I don't know. So we don't need to
They're doing the same thing that they're doing with Wednesday then, because they're dropping.
Yeah, it's going to be so many. So I'm assuming that we can probably just take a couple weeks and do it maybe. I don't know. I
do a couple episodes at a time, like 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that goes. I probably shouldn't have thought of the idea to do 2 Institute shows. Maybe that was too much, but we'll figure in where to fit the stuff.
That's what I thought. You were just ganging everybody up on one thing.
No.
It'd be cool to have 5 or 6 people on one.
It might be, but I know Karen and AJ like to do more of a review. They don't really dive into it, and they tend to not want to do it with that many people. So that's why I figured I would just do it separately with you guys. Yes, Doc says I missed From finding lots of ways to have fun with the show in the off season. That's why I said I need to get back into doing it. It's just doing those dives was a little I had to take hours doing my notes and recaps and stuff, and that's a lot to do for all these shows every multiple times a week. I just can't.
I got some saucy Yellow Jackets information, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like if I can do a watch party and get my notes, it's good. But if I got to spend hours, I just can't do that many. Write them down, Kimberly. But yeah, I miss them too. But we'll eventually have our From show. I don't know. Maybe me and you and Lori will do something maybe when it comes. I don't know. Unless we're gonna go back to the show we were doing. I don't know. I don't know if Julie wants to do that or not. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we have Revival tomorrow. So guys, make sure you join us. And I uploaded, I finally got my video editing under control. And I uploaded a bunch of videos. I'm going to set them soon to go live. I have Outrageous. I have more Better Sister. Or wait, that one I didn't upload yet, but I have another one of them.
Did you watch Better Sister?
I took that back. I do have it. I watched part of it. Yeah. I have the Better Sister coming. I have Outrageous coming. I have Buccaneers coming, but it's embargoed.
What is Buccaneers?
It's kind of like a Bridgerton type show.
Oh, okay.
And it's like it's not the first season though. And then I have the last one for Murderbot is ready to go. I have another Revival one. I still have more Resident Alien coming. I've been, like I said, I've had a lot of videos that I need to get up, but I'm going to at least make a couple of them live after we are done here. I needed to wait until midnight because I didn't want to screw up the notifications so nobody saw them, but I'll set a couple of them to go live. So
yeah,
look for that, people. But yeah, there's a lot that still need to go up. But yeah, what else? I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's anything else, but make sure you guys check out all the stuff across the Sci-Fi Vision channel and you can see it that way. And make sure you guys subscribe too, because we might not be, some of the shows we've been doing, or at least might be doing outside of StreamYard if we can't fit on the schedule. So, make sure that you join Sci-Fi Vision to see the full schedule of stuff. And it's also the schedules on Discord. I've been updating it each week. So if you haven't joined that, please make sure you do. And that still should be at the top of the chat. Yep, it's still pinned. I wish people would be more active in Discord. I've tried to strike up some conversations. I'm not great at it, but people don't really talk much in Discord. I wish they'd get more active.
Do you have separate segments for shows where people can theorize and stuff?
Yeah, I have different.
Do you have a From
channels.
section?
Yeah, I have a From section. I have an Institute section I added. I have Yellow Jackets. I have Doctor Who. I think I have most of the stuff we've done shows for. I don't know if there's one separate one for Librarians, but I could add it. Yeah, I can always add them, but people aren't talking much on it, so I haven't needed to. But I'd like it to be more active, to talk to you all when we're not live streaming. But yeah,
put polls up. Put some polls up
in Discord. Yeah, I'll have to do that. But
we could also do that for watch parties too. If anybody has anything they want to, watch.
Oh, you mean to see what they want to watch,
or they have any ideas for watch
party?
I've
gotten some ideas from people. If you have watch party ideas, let me know. I've gotten a couple from people. We just haven't. I mean, we've been doing all these. So we haven't put them up, but I know people were saying they wanted to do a watch party for 28 days and 28 weeks later before the new film comes out. I'd like to take time to do that. We still got to finish Awake. I keep saying that, and we haven't yet.
Oh, but you started it.
Yeah, yes and no. We started it, but a couple of us that happened to be around started it. So if we do Awake, we'll start from the beginning so everybody gets a chance to see it. But yeah, we hadn't watched it. Still want to do which reminds me, I still want to watch White Lotus and just have not gotten a chance yet.
Have you seen any of it?
Not the new season, no.
Oh, not the new season, but the other seasons.
I saw the beginning of the first season.
Oh, okay.
Have I watched Constantine? I think I can't remember if I watched Constantine when it was on. I feel like I've seen part of it, maybe. I mean, I've definitely seen the movie. I've definitely seen the movie, but I'm assuming that Kimberly's probably talking about the series. I don't know. Maybe she's not. I've seen the movie. Probably. I've seen the movie multiple times. And of course, Constantine is also in Sandman this season again, I believe. Which would be cool. That's Jenna. Yeah, TV series. Yeah, I feel like I did, but I don't really remember it, so I might not have seen all of it. I might have seen part of it. I have to watch so many things to cover them that I don't always remember what I've seen, or I see part of a season and
I can't remember.
Well, no, a lot of times, like I've seen.
No, it's coming around again.
No, I know, but a lot of times, like, I watch part of something because I'm covering it, and then, like, I
Yeah.
never have time to finish it, unfortunately. Which is why a lot of things I need to finish that I haven't. Um, but oops, wrong thing. Uh, you're gonna stream and host a live on the well, not stream, meant for watch party, because I don't want to do a stream on the movies, I don't think, because it's too hard to do streams
Mm-hmm.
on new movies because you all have to coordinate having the money to go see it, and I probably won't see the new one in the theater. So no, I mean the old ones, not the new one, and until it comes out to stream. I mean, once it comes out to stream, we can stream it, but you know, I don't know how you would stream it for when it's in the movie theater, so I don't know why I said that. When it eventually comes
Sounds
out to
illegal.
stream, we'll do a watch party for the new movie, but the old ones we can do a watch party for. So I'm watching that. But yeah. But our first watch party will be tomorrow at 10 for Revival. So guys, make sure if you haven't, that you come tomorrow to see the second episode of Revival before we do the live stream. I would play the first one first, but I probably won't have time because I don't think I can actually get here till 9:30 tomorrow. So I don't think we'll have time for both of them, but we can at least watch the newer one because we'll have time for it. So if you haven't seen the first one, try to watch it before then. Yeah, I don't know. I just was wondering if there was some kind of like cool live stream I could do for my birthday next week, but I don't know what I would do. I really don't. I don't know. We'll just do a Librarians live stream and I'll just say, it's my birthday. How's that?
No dancing spectacular.
Yeah, no dancing spectacular. I think the first one's on YouTube. It probably is, Kimberly. We can
Virtual cupcakes.
Yeah. See, that's where I need to learn to do a lot of the different things you can do with OBS and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there's virtual cupcakes. I know you can make. I found out. I just haven't done it yet. Like you can make like custom emojis and stuff for the YouTube channel. Like
Yeah.
I need to get to doing that. Need to make time to do all that fun stuff. Can I add? Well, I can add animations and I can add images. I don't know. I mean, most of the stuff there's like things for alerts, but they're triggered by specific alerts. But yeah, I can add animations and things. I don't know what I could do. I mean, I can put up like the emojis that bounce across the screen if people send them on the emoji wall, but I think they are only specific emojis. I don't know what triggers it. It's there. It just needs to be triggered. I'm still learning all that stuff, but
You did that magic one that you showed me before we went live. That kind of magical crystal ball.
oh, that yeah, that's the what do you call it? Like the it's the like the transition.
Yeah.
So like, and that's the wrong be right back. So people ignore that. I'm just showing you the transition. That was for our other show, but yeah, that's a transition. But I am learning to make animations because I want to make my own. So hopefully pretty soon I'll have some animations for them. But yeah, you can pretty much play anything on it. Can't play videos just because they'll get pulled off YouTube. So we don't want to do that. But other than that, we can do fun things. But yeah, I want to learn how to make the animations to make my own. I mean, I made the images obviously for this to put on top of the animations that were in the overlays, but I want to learn to make overlays. I think it will be fun. Maybe use Dad's studio to make some 3D stuff, but to animate it, it'd be cool. But yeah, not necessarily related to what we're doing now, but still fun. But I don't know. Yeah, let us know in Discord what things you guys want to see, whether it's watch parties, whether it's live streams, and we'll try to fit everything in. Like I said, when we do Sandman, maybe we'll since it all drops at once, we don't really need to do like 6 weeks. I think that's kind of not smart anyway because everybody's done by then.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Just kind of fit it in, and although there is a lot to talk about, I think with Sandman, but still, I think we could do it in a couple of weeks. And then
I read all the comic books. You've read the comic books, right?
I have not read the comic books now.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I think I got one from the library once, but I never. I'm not a big comic person. The only comics I ever read very much of were X-File comics. And
Oh,
that was because I
really?
was
I didn't
obsessed
even
with
know there
X-File.
were X-File comics.
Yeah, there are. Well, some of them were based on the episode, some of them weren't. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
not a comic person. Stuff based on comics, like I like Marvel and stuff, but the actual
Yeah.
comics, no, I'm not. I don't
Yeah, I
really
like
read.
indie comics more. Like a lot of indie comics.
I would like to start reading some more graphic novels. I had
Yeah.
wanted to get Revival. I'd wanted to see if I could find, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just really have not gotten into that kind of stuff. But that reminded me when we're talking about Sandman, we should do too. Is there's some shows that it reminds me that are gaming shows that I'd like to
Yeah.
eventually do watch parties for if people haven't seen. Like I
Mhm.
love Neverwhere and Mirror Mask. Like those are really great. And
Mhm.
the shows I haven't read them, but they're
Yeah.
always good.
Have you seen American Gods?
Part of it. Again, I saw, I think the first season. I didn't really love American Gods. It was a little
Mm.
weird. Not that
Oh,
all his stuff isn't weird, but
yeah.
yeah, I watched it, but I at a certain point I quit watching it and I never saw the end.
See more along the lines of American Gods and Good Omens, that kind of
Yeah,
style.
American Gods was a little dark for me if I remember rightly.
Mm.
Good Omens is awesome. I love Good Omens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Doc. You can still like the work. You don't have to like him necessarily. Yeah, that's probably why they're not doing a full out junket this season too.
Yeah.
Because I know last season I did the junket, but they're not
Well,
doing
both him and Amanda Palmer are like crazy Scientologists, so take
both
it for what
him
you
and
will.
who and who.
Amanda Palmer, his wife, who was in the
Oh,
dress.
okay. But yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know they were like pretty much like Scientology royalty. So
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that. I
yeah,
just know about the stuff that's been in the news, and I can
yeah, I know that
still
too.
like the content. Don't have to like him or what he
Well, he
potentially.
didn't even create Sandman. He just did a version of it. So there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I should say
He
that's why I'm
did
saying
Good Omens with Terry Pratchett. So there's that.
yeah, yeah. That's why I'm saying like I like the versions that are on the TV shows and stuff I've enjoyed. It doesn't mean I have to like him, but
Yeah,
I do like the movie Mirror Mask and stuff, and that's based on
yeah.
I think a comic too.
Hmm.
Uh and Neverwhere's good TV series. You're kind of all in that fantasy weird, yeah. But yeah, American Gods was a little dark for me.
You didn't
I
see
did.
Good Omens.
Yeah, I've seen Good Omens.
Oh, okay,
I've seen all of Good Omens.
all right.
I love that. Yeah,
Have you
that's
seen the
awesome.
other Terry Pratchett stuff?
Some of them saw part of that. A lot of people didn't like it, and I can't remember what it's called. But there was a show that came out that was on. I think it was a BBC show
Going
that they
Postal?
had. What?
Going Postal?
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was like I don't know, a year or two ago.
Mm.
It was I can't think of what it was called, and I know it was Pratchett, but I don't remember what it was called. It came out.
Discworld? Was there Discworld on
Yes,
it?
it was Discworld. It was
Okay.
Discworld. It was the newer
Yeah.
version. A lot of people didn't like it. I watched some of
Huh.
that. Colors of Magic. I'm not sure what Colors of Magic are.
Oh, the Colors of Magic, yeah.
I haven't heard of that. I did actually read a Neil Gaiman book though once. I read it was about an alternate universe. I'm trying to think what it was called. I read it. I liked the book, but I don't know. The one with the gnomes, yeah. Sounds like me. The one with this, the one
The
with
ones with
that.
the gnomes.
I don't know which one had gnomes, but that's like what my extent of what normally happens when I mention things. That one. But yeah, I like that kind of fantasy, sci-fi-ish stuff. I just didn't love American Gods. The other ones I did.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a little dark. It got kind of dark. The other ones weren't quite so.
Yeah.
They were a little lighter. But it's like Labyrinth. Like I don't know that I know they were like talking about redoing Labyrinth. I don't know if I want them to because it's
No.
so classic. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing like a new version, or something different or a
Well,
sequel.
without a bulge? Never.
I mean, it can't be the same. It's never going to be the same, but I don't know. I'm okay sometimes with remakes and adaptations. I just try to look at them. It's like with The Last of Us. I try to look at them as they're two different things. Like I can enjoy both and still, but I don't know. I don't know if they could redo Labyrinth. It's
I don't know. I
perfectly.
wish there just would be better new idea. I mean, there's a lot of new ideas out there that are good that
Yeah,
companies could
they're
be
definitely.
investing money in. There's a lot of artists out there that would love to get a nice paycheck for their original ideas.
Yes, yes. Well, if people come up with new original ideas, I will try to watch them.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's just going to be corporations giving them money as opposed to just redoing other things.
yeah,
Taking
you
a
do
chance. Oh my
you
God.
do see a lot of things redone. It's hard to get new and unique stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, that's why like From and Severance are so unique.
And
I mean,
Yellow Jackets,
Yellow
Yellow
Jackets,
Jackets from and Severance all are their own ideas and their own
Yellow
worlds.
Jackets is kind of unique. Yellow
No,
Jackets. No,
no,
listen to my reasoning
no,
before you
no,
know me.
no.
Yes,
Uh-uh.
overall, Yellow Jackets is its own unique thing. I'm not saying it's not overall, but
Mm,
the I mean, the beginning of it, people stranded, plane crash, that is like a trope, is what I'm saying. But yes, Yellow
Yeah, but
Jackets
From's
overall.
also a trope. People waking up in a strange place and they don't know where they are and they don't know how to get out is a trope.
That's true too. That's true.
Severance, people stuck in the office space and they have a. I mean, they're not the first one that's done like there's one life here and one life there. Awake did it.
True. Two different realities. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a trope. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just Yellow
I'll die
Jackets
on the Yellow
out, I
Jackets hill.
I thought it was going to be like something else, but it wasn't. It was different. It is unique. But you don't get a whole lot of those shows, or if you do get those
Yeah.
shows,
But I'm just
especially
saying unique in a way they're not reboots of something else
right,
or a
right, yes,
franchise
yes. In
or,
that in that
a
case, yes,
spin-off.
it's very unique. The
Yeah.
problem is that good, unique sci-fi shows or sci-fi fantasy shows do not last. They get canceled.
Hmm.
That's the issue. But at least we have more From coming for sure, and more
Hmm.
Yellow Jackets coming for sure, and
For
more Severance
sure.
coming for sure. It's just
And
going
now
to be
I
a lot.
know what the bonus episode was about, so that's exciting.
Do you hear something else?
I did hear something. Maybe I'll do a live about it sometime.
Okay, we'll have to do that. You'll have to tell me. I want
I
to
want to
know.
keep it on the down low because I want to do my own thing with it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe many
Um,
people haven't been exposed to this info.
I see. I see. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, they need to, I wish there was another good puzzle box show. I miss.
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying before. We got hit with 3 really good ones, and then there's nothing really
Yeah,
further
and then
away.
nothing. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Institute's like mystery. I don't know that
Hmm.
call it puzzle box, but it's mystery,
Yeah.
and it's going to be good. But yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know. The shows that I like tend to not last long enough. So, I mean, then
Yeah.
again, nothing lasts long enough. But I just mean like it seems
Hmm.
like ones that I end up liking, a lot of them are like one season or a half a season, and then they get canceled.
Well,
Which
a lot of mine are 2-season, like the OA, like Raised with by Wolves,
yes,
shows
both
like
very good.
that
The
because
OA
it's
is
set
like,
in their sophomore
I
year.
mean, look, the OA is one of the best shows ever. I mean, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And that is very unique,
Hmm.
and sort of puzzle boxy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you don't see those very often, and if you do, they don't unfortunately last. So I was going to say,
Hmm.
thankfully, although not puzzle box, but thankfully,
Hmm.
Librarians does have a season 2 already filming and
Hmm.
coming. So at least we know there's more with that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's still good stuff coming. It just seems like it's nothing, nothing, and then like everything at once, and then nothing,
Yeah.
nothing, and then it drives you nuts and then you can't handle it all. That's why I said like there was
Yeah,
nothing
it's
coming
too
on,
much.
and we were trying to figure out what to cover, and then like all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I'm
Yeah.
doing 5 shows a week.
Yeah,
Why?
it was a little bit too much to have Severance and Yellow Jackets on at the same time, like on
Yeah.
the same night. It was like too
Yeah,
much.
well, and that's the thing too, is kind of my point. Like ones like that take a lot more notes and research and
Yeah.
a lot more stuff to do. They're harder. And that's why, like, if I was doing 5 of them, I don't think I could. I'd go crazy.
Hmm.
So that's why I know these shows are maybe not as long as some of our other shows, but it's hard
Hmm.
to to go too deep and still be able to get sleep and get work done. And fortunately, and
it's fun to watch the Librarians because there's like a complete adventure in an episode.
Yeah, you can go into the. You're right. It is. I like that too. Sometimes it's nice to just get a nice, lighthearted adventure that doesn't necessarily require too much. It doesn't make you scratch your head too much. Like it's still good.
But it still has enough history and stuff in it to itch your brain, right?
Yeah, it's a good fantasy. That's why I don't know if I'd call it. I guess it's not really cozy TV. I was gonna say I don't know if I'd call it cozy TV, but because I've been watching. I
don't know. Twin Peaks is cozy TV to me, so
I don't know. I'd call that cozy TV, but no, I was just thinking. I like a lot
to
of
me personally.
I like detective shows and like crime, like figuring out.
Like Twin Peaks is a detective show.
Yeah, but that's not cozy though. I won't call it cozy.
It is too cozy. I cozied up with it last night. I watched it so many times, it's almost second nature, and I said I'd be obnoxious in a watch party because I'd be saying all the lines before the actor said them.
Well, I think
cozy.
Or at least when I say cozy TV, I think of things that like don't require they're like that particular episode has like a mystery, but they don't require like a lot of deep thought past that.
Unless I wake up all suddenly to a real dark part of Twin Peaks, and I'm like, okay, now this might have like fried my brain. I wake up on the couch, and I'm trying to get to bed.
Yeah, you don't want to watch some of that late at night. Anyway, I was just thinking that I watched some Harry Wild the other night. I like that show.
Some what?
Harry Wild. It's one of the Acorn shows. They're the ones that have a lot of those kind of mysteries.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was watching some of that. I like BritBox and Acorn. I need to get Acorn. I only have Acorn screeners. I don't have Acorn. But I do have BritBox.
Did they do a variety of shows, or did they just do mysteries?
Oh yeah, they have. Well, Acorn tends to have a lot of mysteries. I don't know that they don't have other stuff. I think they do, but that's what I've watched on there. But BritBox has a lot of all different things. But also outrageous. I'm going to be putting that up within the next couple of days. That was, I think, is BritBox.
Yeah, that's a Twin Peaks compliment from Kimberly about the image in the mirror. In the pilot, there's an image in the mirror that most people miss.
Oh. Well, see, that's why people watch us to talk about it and hear things and find out.
I mean, I hope the watch party keeps going because you can watch the pilot, but it's kind of a slow burn like Yellow Jackets. It doesn't really get in a kind of, is it supernatural, is it not, until like about the 4th or 5th episode.
Cool.
You gotta hang out to Laura Palmer's funeral to get like the full gist of the thing.
I see.
A lot of people don't watch Yellow Jackets to the cabin, but I'm like, you gotta watch it to the cabin.
Yeah, well, that's why I know a lot of people can't get into Severance at the beginning, but that's not because it's a slow burn. That's just because you don't kind of get why it's good, I guess, until it gets to that point.
Yeah, or you don't get into the world, or you get into it. Because I like that kind of world. I like the clothing, and I like the style.
Yeah,
and I like the music.
No, I do too. But it does take a little bit.
I mean, it's like Twin Peaks too. If you're not vibing with the music and the acting and everything, you're probably not going to vibe with it.
Yeah, well, no, I would like to watch it. I just don't have the time to invest in it right now.
But I'm surprised because a lot of people just like the David Lynch parts, and then if he doesn't do something, they skip episodes. But I love a good Mark Frost episode, a good written by Mark Frost or directed by him. I like a good Robert Ingalls episode. They have a lot of good writers, and Harley Payton worked on and produced, I think, Reginald the Vampire, and that's why I even watched Reginald the Vampire, because he was associated with Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Reginald was good. I like that show.
A lot of them were associated with Mad Men too, and I was always really excited to see some of the directors of Twin Peaks go off and do episodes for other shows that are also really good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what other kind of, I don't know. I just wish there were other more sci-fi stuff and fantasy.
I mean, I got to watch the last 2 seasons of Dark too, because I only watched the first season of Dark. And
I got to watch the last season of Dark, but the thing is I don't know if I waited. I hadn't seen the finale. The only thing I haven't seen is the finale, and I'm not spoiling. I won't spoil anything. But I can't really go back to watch it without rewatching the whole season.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
wondering at this point if I really need to watch the whole series or at least watch some kind of recap. It's just like with Sandman. I'm thinking like I don't remember half of that. Like they take so long between on hiatuses with stuff, and like I get it. It takes a while to make the shows. But it's like I'm wondering, can I go in and start Sandman, or do I really need to watch something reminding me what the hell happened? Because it's got a lot going on. It's like a big world. So some of those things it helps to rewatch it, but it's like I don't have whatever it is 10 extra hours to invest in it before then. So I will probably try to find some kind of recap or something that will help me to get.
Yeah, I think I
remember.
may have been telling Kimberly this, or maybe not. But there is a podcast called Evolution of Horror, and they have a spin-off podcast called The Detective and the Log Lady, where they cover all the episodes of Twin Peaks, but then they cover the books, because there's like the secret Diary of Laura Palmer, the secret history of Twin Peaks, Dale Cooper, My Life, My Tapes, and the Final Dossier, and we could I almost wish we could have lives discussing those books, but I don't know if we'll ever get there. And then watching Fire Walk with Me, of course.
Yeah,
and The Missing Pieces, which is a whole other film of missing scenes for Fire Walk with Me that we should watch after Fire Walk with Me to be a completed.
Whenever I was watching reading, I'll get it eventually, not watching or reading, playing Life is Strange. It has like all these Easter eggs. It makes me think of you because it has a Fire Walk with Me written. And I know
that's right.
Yeah, I knew it was from that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Easter eggs. That's one of the reasons I love Life is Strange though too, because it's got so many Easter eggs. It's got Firefly, it's got everything. I still wonder if people would like to do one of those where you make choices and do a live stream with the beginning. But yes, I'd probably need to start over with Dark. I don't know. I'd like to go watch Dark. I lately don't have enough hours to get done what I need to get done. Because there's things I'd love to do live streams on that aren't newer necessarily. Like I would love to do, it just made me think of it when Doc was saying it. And I know that's not what you were talking about or have anything to do with that. But for some reason, when you were saying anime, it's not even really anime. There's some anime dealing with it. But I started thinking like, you know what I'd like to do a live stream about and dive into? The Matrix. Because there's that's one of the series like I loved, and there's so much you can get into and go crazy with that. And
the Animatrix.
Yeah, well, that was why when he said anime, and that's why I said that's the only anime part of it. But for whatever reason, it made me think of it. But yeah, there's Animatrix. I'd love to do that. And the other thing I'd like to do eventually is I'd like to do another X-File rewatch. But like we did X-Files when it was on. We did a rewatch. Like I don't know if I need to do a third like live stream on it, but I'd love to do it because I know so much about X-Files, or do Doctor Who or something like that. One of the ones I know a lot. But yes, thank you, Doc. Please make sure you guys do like and subscribe. You can see like the percentage of the people that subscribe, and like most of the people that are watching this are not subscribing. So please make sure you guys subscribe.
I don't know that maybe they don't have accounts, because I used to not have an account, so I just used to just watch things.
That's true. Yeah, maybe. But I know
make an account.
Make an account. Yeah, and I know sometimes people watch this, they're watching it from NDB Media, which is great. Follow NDB Media, I've said before, some great content, but also follow Sci-Fi Vision too, please, if you don't. It's appreciated. I'm still trying to figure out how to get more traffic. I wish that I did better, and sometimes you watch those videos on what to do on YouTube, and I swear I think a lot of times I think they just tell you bullshit, because if it was that easy to get traffic, then everybody would have traffic, I don't think they really tell you some of the stuff that you really need to know. I don't know, because my video views, a lot of them are not great, and we'd love to get them up there. No, we've done good. Whoops, no, this is the new one. Yeah, see, we need to get more Librarians fans to watch us. We don't get a lot of live.
Where's Linda? Where did Linda go?
I don't know. Linda came that one week and then didn't come back. But it was nice. We had good people tonight. They're all great. I'm glad you guys are at least busy in the chat. We like to hear your feedback as we do it. Which is why I've said before too, I sometimes feel like I might just do like an impromptu, just, I don't know, something. when I have
For your
time.
birthday?
See if people want to. No, not for my birthday, but for something. I don't know. The only thing is I do more like for my birthday, but I'm probably not going to be home till at least the 9:30 on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to go
If
to
you
casino.
should be.
Probably not gonna
To be
home.
out celebrating your birthday.
Yeah, but I will be home by 9:30. But my family's taking me out, so I probably won't be home earlier. But I got to work first. Then I'm going to go out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, getting too old. I don't know that I want to come. Let's see, Doc.
Is your cake going to be on fire, is what we're saying?
Yeah, is my cake? Yeah, probably.
Well, the candles.
My fiance watches Librarians. It doesn't watch lives or YouTubes at all. Well, Doc, I've told you I don't watch YouTubes enough. I need to start watching live streams. I have never, and I don't know if it's just because I'm older that I haven't watched live streams. I haven't listened to podcasts. Like I do it and I enjoy doing it, but I don't have time to sit around and watch them. And I really wish I did. And I want to start visiting some of them that you guys do. I want to start coming to see you guys do From Academy and listening to parts of it. I just need to get sleep in between, and I haven't gotten that far, but I eventually will. I've been going to sleep every night.
A lot of lives have time.
I haven't had.
A lot of lives have timestamps, so you could just listen to a little bit of a subject matter that you'd want to listen to.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And that's the other question I want to ask people. Do you guys is timestamps helpful? I thought YouTube made timestamps automatically. Apparently it does not. But if I upgrade my program that I have, I can start putting timestamps on it if I download the videos. And if people are interested in that, I might do that. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks for coming. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really watched or listened to podcasts or watched live streams very often. And I need to start doing that. I want to start doing that. But I have to get sleep too. And these are taking a lot out of me. That's why I said I usually end up till 5 or 6 a.m., which is bad and not good for my health, but I tend to be up then. But yes, I'm sorry, Muncher. I do got to work a little bit, but you know what? If I get the interviews those days, I will be very happy to get them that day because there's something I really want to cover. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I will take some time off. I wish the weather would stay good. The only thing is, the other day there was tornadoes near here.
Yeah,
not here, thankfully.
We had a severe thunderstorm warning.
Well, we had tornado warnings. It actually for the counties we're in, but it was right past us. So, but the weather's been not staying hot.
It's supposed to get up into the 90s here in Michigan. That's thrilling.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really hot next week. So I was going to come in next week. That will be fixed. That will be. But yeah, I don't know. But I think with this, unless you have anything else to add, I feel like we're winding down. We've been over 2 hours. Nobody, the chat's winding down. It seems like too. So yeah, hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 for the watch party, 11 for the live stream for Revival. Which I think we're gonna call Revival Redux. We've decided, trying to make up logos for it. But yeah, please tell, subscribe, tell people, tell them to come listen, come watch, and yeah, and then Scarlet and I will see you again on Monday for Midnight Murderbot. But until then, I'll see you guys for other things and be getting no sleep. That is the way it works. All right, guys. Well, have a good night, everybody. Unless Scarlet, unless you have something to add, I don't want to wrap it up unless
I'm good.
All right. Yes, sweet nightmares. I see that. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one. Good night.
Good night. Take it easy.